areas around race and
we know the
ethnicity,
routine.
whether somebody was a visible minority or
right?
not.
They're doing
And so we
another
can compensate
live
for that
stream.
to ensure that
Is
we
it a
hear the
live
voices
stream
of
or a
people from
pre-recorded
different ethnic and racial
live
groups.
stream being
As well,
restreamed?
we
It's hard to say.
looked at
Okay.
indicators.
All I
of
know is
income
it's July
and
20th,
education. As this helps us
2020.
understand what
We've
we
got
call socioeconomic
1,700 people
status
watching
and how
right
that
now.
affects people's experience
Started
both with
22
COVID,
minutes ago.
but particularly with the experience.
Hold on.
Of the,
I'm just going
measures
to
that
turn
were
off the
put in
volume
place
and let
to
the
stop
stream run
the
out. See how the live kicked out, people? This is a restream.
a single time period. We have been very
restream.
effective public health teams in containing the spread. To do that, we have done that in BC,
Right.
And we can go back to.
All we have to do is just go like this a couple of times.
I'm not
you know,
typically very
I
active
did this with John Horgan.
on social media.
Sooner or later, it's just going to kick out.
Asking you again,
Right?
particularly
Because that's what it does.
young people, because
I wanted
we
to
know
say,
we have
look at
been
it, look what she's
impacted by
done.
this. Be my voice
Do you
on
see?
social media.
You see how it kicked out?
Use your influence
There you go.
to share a message
So
with
I
your
can almost
friends and
guarantee
connections.
it's a
Don't
live,
let
it's a
COVID-19
restream,
spoil our summer.
right?
We
I wonder
can
why all of a
face it
sudden she's
and
got these
stay
big
safe.
ass gaudy glasses
And we know
on.
what we have to do.
What's she
to do
hiding?
that. There are a few
Hiding
things
something.
we all need to do to push that curve back down
Right.
again. They go back to the things we've been talking about. Fewer faces, bigger spaces, using our layers.
She's already threatening that, you know, it's going to be other people's fault if they don't continue social distancing and all this other crap, right? It's not even live, people. So, you know that they're going to bring it back to stay-home orders and all this other crap, right?
Of protection. Keep your groups small. Only spend time with those you know. Focus on your friends. Focus on your family. The more people you see, the more likely it is that someone will have COVID-19 and spread it to you and the people that you're close to. If you're going out, be considerate of the people who are working in those places, in the restaurants and the pubs that you are visiting, in the resorts where you are staying. Understand that the people who work there are at higher risk because they are looking after many other people. So be kind and show gratitude as they follow the...
Oh my God. This is like an occult, people. Okay? This is an occult. We're dealing with an occult. This live stream is almost over.
WorkSafe BC requirements for safe operations. We have COVID safety plans for a reason, and we all need to follow those rules to keep each other safe. Don't ask your server to bend the rules. Rather, help them by bending our curve. With no larger than 6 people if in a restaurant or a club, no table hopping, and always stay away, stay home if you're not feeling well. If you're hosting a small gathering, remember to keep those gatherings small, know people who are coming, and stay outside as much as possible. And also, we need you to have a designated contact keeper so that we can assist you and find people who inadvertently are exposed. We need to do that now so that we can continue on our restart program, we can continue to enjoy our summer, and we can continue to recover from the effect.
We all know that it's cases first often, and then hospitalization, as inevitably is the case, and so we have to continue to be concerned about that.
Who knows?
We'll know that from the beginning of the pandemic, Vancouver Coastal Health in the early days of the pandemic was the center of cases, and now they're essentially the same number of cases. Skoronsky and I held a news conference to discuss BC's serology report. The study showed a successful suppression of community transmission in BC and possibly the lowest rate of infection in North America. That's a significant accomplishment and one that we achieved through our individual and collective effort and commitment to stop the spread. On Friday, of course, we reported 28 new cases, and today an average of 34 cases a day for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It is, I think, a sobering reminder
34
of how
cases a
fleeting
day for
success
Saturday
can be
and
when we
Sunday
turn
and
our back
Monday.
on COVID-19.
Okay.
We let our skills
but
slide,
we know that
our
this is a
focus waver,
fake
and
live
our
stream.
commitment slip.
This
You
is not being
cannot
done today.
barter with
So how could they
COVID-19.
possibly know that when
In
they did
BC, our
this?
drive to bend the curve and
Right? We're going to
flatten it
find out
worked.
when they did
But
this.
let's be clear, in our BC pandemic, we must not let those be our best days. We know each day matters.
All right.
We know that
I'm
with
just waiting for it to
COVID-19,
end.
each moment of each day matters.
This is Adrian
We know
Dix.
that being 100% all in
One of
means
those
remembering,
pillars.
respecting, and ritualizing the skills Dr. Henry and public health officials have taught us.
But it's more like
we know
a cult.
That physical distancing saves
We don't
lives.
have a government.
We know that
We're
safe
being
social
run by
interaction stop the
occultists.
spread. We need to recommit right now to what we know has made the difference for us in our BC
You
effort.
hear the beeping?
There's a place for common sense, but
Vehicles
right
up and
now
down
there's
the
a
road.
need for COVID sense and to use it.
Building all this
right
housing
now,
that
using our
nobody can
COVID
afford
skills
except-
and making sure we're using our COVID
know.
sense matters a great deal. If we continue to remember with COVID-19, being outside has a huge upside. And there's safety in small
numbers that young people gathering is the biggest issue right now.
Now they're
So
asking
why are the
questions
restaurants really be allowed to remain
on,
open?
July
and if they are allowed to, why not mandate
20th,
mask use for bars and
2020.
clubs like there is
This
for
was
hair
done by
salons and spas?
CTV.
Yeah,
Right?
I think it's a bit of a challenge to wear a mask when you're in
pre-recorded
a place where you're
live
eating
stream.
and drinking. So we have to remember
Right.
that nightclubs per se are not actually open in this phase, but they are able to open to have events under the food forward licenses that we have. So it's a bit of a challenge, I guess.
slave state.
And
That's what
yes,
it's
and we've talked
creating.
about
They're
this a little
creating a
bit
slave
before.
state.
I think we need to balance the impacts with the measures that we have to increase people's served that people's inhibitions tend to go away and they may forget some of the rules.
They're going to do
And that
more
puts the servers
inspections.
and the people who are working in
They've
those
already
settings
shut
at
down
risk as
more
well.
bars,
So we need
more
to have,
restaurants. After they
boundaries around
reopen,
that.
you know, it's
I
spyware,
believe it is
right?
better for us to work
Right.
and to find those ways of
You
doing
know.
things safely. So rather than shutting
Safely,
things down blanket,
well, it would
because
help
then we
if
know
they
that
told the
people will
truth. That
going
would be
underground and hiding
that would be
things
the
and
safest
be
thing
less
I would
likely to
think
come forward
for
with,
5 point
concerns, and we'll be having even more challenges in finding people.
1
So
million
some of the things
people,
that we do think are
right?
important is making sure we
You know
have
what I'm
those
saying?
contact information for people, so that public
Is it
health
still
can
running?
anonymously contact people
Yeah,
and
it's still
ensure
running.
that they know they're at risk.
I don't know if I'm going to upload this,
We'll be
people. I'm
looking
getting
at
kind of
how
tired
we
of
can
this.
use some of the apps
If I turn
perhaps to
this off,
support
we know what
that,
will happen.
and
This
how
will
we
go
can
out.
do that in a
Right.
way that
So I'm just
gets
letting it run
messages more
because, you
quickly
know,
to
just
people.
running at the mouth.
So that's
all
how
it
we've been,
is.
You know, our plan from the very beginning has been to gradually open things and to revise and adjust and put in place the measures that address the specific issues as
It's
they
amazing how
arise.
her eyes got so much darker,
Do you
don't
have
you
a follow-up,
think?
Shannon?
What happened to her eyes? How did her eyes get so dark?
CTV News has received a photo that shows two lower mainland doctors attending a dinner party at a Yaletown restaurant. The photo taken July 9th shows 18 men standing shoulder to shoulder and not physically distancing.
Oh, wow.
Given the outbreak in
Doctors.
Kelowna that's tied to indoor gatherings on Canada Day, is it responsible for
Oh,
an
my
ER
God.
doctor and an
Are
ICU
you
doctor
listening
to
to that?
seemingly disregard directives to the
Are you
public
listening to
regarding
this,
physical
people?
distancing?
Yeah, you know, I can't comment on any specific thing, but, you know, those are things that we tell people to be cautious about. And
Yeah.
yes, everybody should be following the rules. And, you know,
Right,
I
rules.
understand that this was an event where there was distancing and they came together for a short period of time. So
It
these
makes it
things
okay.
happen. It's
These
not,
things happen.
it's certainly not what we would expect and not what we want people to do. And we
Right.
need to model the behavior that we're looking for
What
in
happened?
others. And I look to everybody to not point fingers at others, but to try and do our best ourselves and to make sure we know what we're doing, that we
She's
have our
so
smaller
morally
groups, that
correct,
we
don't
keep
you
our
think?
distance between people who aren't in our close
Don't you think she's
contact,
so
our
morally
close
correct?
connections and our bubbles.
She seems to be so
Next question is from
morally,
Keith Baldry, Global News.
morally correct, but yet I feel
Hi,
like
Dr. Henry. Thanks
we're
for taking my
dealing with
question. Earlier today,
an
a
occult.
journalistic colleague of mine at CBC tweeted that a well-known Victoria restaurant or a Victoria grocery chain had suddenly gotten rid of all crowd control and social distancing measures. I went there because that's where I shop. I think you've been there as well, and it was near chaos. What had been a very organized store for some time with a limit of 35 people, now had upwards of 65 people, no social distancing.
Oh, wow.
Employees asked me to talk to management because they were quite fearful what was going on.
Right.
I did. An hour later, they had put back a guard at the door when one hadn't been there, and they were back to making people line up and having a limit on crowds. Or you can, and anecdotally, people on Twitter, when I put that out there, are saying that's happening at other stores now, just in the last couple of days. Are you concerned at this turning point that stores now may be less rigorous in maintaining crowd control and social distancing?
And so I have not experienced that myself, but those are the reason why we have our COVID safety plans. And employees can call WorkSafe BC if they have concerns that these plans are not being followed. And I encourage everybody to go online to look at the plans of the places that they're going, whether it's a grocery store, a hardware store, a restaurant, because that is our contract with each other to keep each other safe. Your contract. And so I think it sounds like the right thing happened. The people were concerned, the employees were concerned, and they went back to following the safety plan. Now is not the time
creating more vulnerable women,
now is
more
the time
vulnerable
where we
youth,
need to continue
more
to be
vulnerable
careful.
children,
we know people are
more vulnerable
We've
elderly
seen that.
people.
We know we're traveling around BC. We know
just
people from other parts of Canada are coming
for
here
that
as well.
Drano
And we need
to attach
continue
itself
to do
to
the
those
things
organs
that allow us
that
to
you
have
people
our,
so desperately
our
need
economy, our
in order to
connections
survive
in a safe way.
and multiply.
And that means that every business must have their COVID safety plan. And if people have concerns about that, your recourse is to talk to WorkSafe BC or to call local public health. And they can help reinforce that this is the time we need to follow these. We need to bend that curve back down.
Yeah.
Do you have a follow-up, Keith?
Oh,
Cartel.
that's good. Thank you very much.
Cabal.
Thank you. Next question comes from Bob from Vancouver.
More like an occult.
Dr. Henry, through many briefings, off and on, you've discussed the reproduction rate, the R number, and I know a number of occasions you've said that the threshold, if you can get it below 1, that's great, and if you start going above 1, you're worried. I assume it's headed in the wrong direction at the moment from the numbers you've given us today.
Their viewers.
Are you confident you can get it back down
without these guys are full of bullshit.
Reversing direction on?
Next thing you know, they're going to make everybody wear white togas. Right? Isn't that what occult people do? Right? You got to start wearing white togas. Huh? Hold on.
Sometimes that makes us lose sight of those measures that we're used to doing in our own home community. We have people who are traveling here from other provinces where they may have had different challenges and different messages. So we need to all work together to know. I mean, the one thing we have on our side is that we do know that when we do these things, it works. And that we can have safe socializing. We can play safe, and we can.
Somebody mentioned that nobody's been getting any colds.
That we so need. We have those the social connections, but also
and
we can continue to.
July isn't normally the season for flus.
We just need to make sure that we're doing it slowly and thoughtfully.
So whatever these people are doing is just
with consideration
a smokescreen.
Because
come October, September, October, November, December, January, February of next year, they're going to come in with their heavy hand. Right? You know what I'm saying? Right? Because we're dealing with an occult. Okay, I just refreshed the page. Right? I want to leave that one there. Right? So, I don't know. I'm suspicious. Here it says 70 minutes ago, streamed live 70 minutes ago. It says 189 views 1 hour ago. Okay, I only went away for a second, people. Okay, the live stream is over now. Now they're redoing it. Right. I don't know. These guys, like I said, they're getting fast. They know people are catching on to their game. Now, this could have been a real live stream, but I'm very suspicious about that, people, because it kept kicking out. right? It should be showing in here, but it's not. So I don't know why that's happening. Okay, let's just click on this, because that's over. I'm going to refresh. So now we're at 203 views 1 hour ago. Okay. So we're going to just wait and see, because that was a long stream. This may still reset itself. Right? Okay. So let's just give it a bit of time here. You can see how many was watching. So why it's coming in at that. Here, let's just refresh the page. So let's just give it a few minutes. Hold on. Okay, I turned it back on because on this page, which I just refreshed, like not even 3 minutes, 4 minutes ago, you can see it says 1 hour ago. Then I just did this page. Here it says 210 views 2 hours ago. But if you take it here, and at one point we were at what, 1,600 people watching, right? But the numbers kept dropping, right? I mean, if I refresh this, that's not going to do anything. That's just going to kick out, right? So here we had 685 views streamed live 70 minutes ago. Let's refresh this one. And usually when they do this, that means they're setting up their stream. So let's refresh, see what happens. Okay, you can see what's going on there. So hold on a minute. We'll do this one. Refresh. Hold on. Okay, so I found it. There it is right there. It says streamed 1 minute ago. Still saying 2 hours ago. Hold on. Okay, well they're getting funky now because they removed it. Because remember, here we got 189 1 hour ago. And then I brought up another page and it came in at 2 hours, like immediately, like within seconds, like a minute, less than a minute. You can see how many views, but that's not true, right? And now they've removed it. See, that was the 1 hour, and then I went and opened up another page. But here they've removed it because now they're going to repost it to bring it back up to date. So they've caught on. They're well aware of what's going on with me in terms of calling them out on their lie. Okay? And they're doing something else behind the scenes. Because you don't go from 1 hour quickly into the second hour. We'll see. So, which is real, people? 13 minutes ago, 238 views. Or 2 hours ago, 224 views. Or, well, they took it out because they're making their adjustments here. Or 1 hour ago with 189 views. Here, like I said, they were almost at 1,700 it kept dropping, and then I just left this page there, but you can see what was happening here. So why it's not showing up over there, I don't know. Right? But when you go, let's see, into my subscriptions, it said, because I just brought this page up now, it said it was done 13 minutes ago, but they took it down with 238 views. I mean, which is the real one? This is the one that they were doing. Here they had 692 views because it kept dropping. It said live stream 74 minutes ago. Let's refresh this page. Not up yet. Hold on. So that must mean that's when it ended. Right? They still don't have it posted yet. Okay, there. It's back. Right? So here it says 12 minutes ago, people. Right? 238 views. So let's just go down the line. Right? Here it says 692 views, streamed, excuse me, 74 minutes ago. Here it said it had 1,300 people watching, but it pushed up almost to, what do you call it? 1,600, 1,700 people. Alright, you can see what I'm doing here, right? After their live kicked out, this is what came in, and then I opened up another page. And then almost immediately it said 2 hours ago. So it went from 1 hour, and then within a space of opening up another page and doing it again, it went to 2 hours, you can see. Then they took it off, which they do. It's not there no more. And then they came in and they re-uploaded it now. So whatever they're doing, whatever they did, none of it matches up. Absolutely none of it in terms of a live stream. Okay? So they're trying to hide what they're doing. That's what's happening here. Okay, so this one has me perplexed. I'm going to refresh this. I just put this on now, but let's just see.
To be here on the territories of the Lekwungen-speaking people, the Songhees, and the...
Here it says, was streamed 95 minutes ago, 2:45. Now, I already started closing up everything because, seriously, man, these people are lying. I've caught them in lie already several times. Right? They're fucking with the streams, okay? Now, what's important here, though, is...
Esquimalt First Nations tomorrow morning.
That person gets up there and talks about how, I guess there's 51 more infections over the weekend. Right? Not him, but you know who. Doctor Who, right? The doctor that has appointed herself to be the doctor of 5 million people.
Thank you, and good afternoon.
5.2 million
So we
people.
have a number of things on the agenda today. To start with the case updates since Friday, we have 3 reporting periods. Between Friday and Saturday, we had an additional 51 cases in BC. From Saturday to Sunday, 19 cases. And from Sunday to today, 32 people who tested positive.
From Sunday to today.
Giving us a total of 102 new cases.
Even though none of their live streams, not one, matches up with anything.
Since Friday, 4 of whom were epi-linked. That brings our total number of people with COVID-19 in British Columbia to 3,300.
5.2 million people.
Health authorities have been affected in the past weekend. We now have 1,042 people in Vancouver Coastal Health, 1,713.
But nobody has any colds. Isn't that interesting? That's what's people been talking about on the internet. Nobody's been coming down with colds, people. No runny noses, snot, right? Coughing, right?
18 people in the Fraser Health region, 142 people.
Do kids even get boogers anymore with colds?
On Vancouver Island, 280 people in the Interior Health region, and 69 people in the Northern Health region, as well as 54 people who reside outside of Canada. And I've had some questions about that category from some people, but to remind people that that is people who might have been positive while they were here visiting, or people like temporary foreign workers who are here for a defined period of time. And that's from the beginning of the outbreak. We've had 54 people who met that category. And as I mentioned, we have had cases this weekend in all health authorities in British Columbia, which reminds us the fact that this virus continues to circulate. And as we are moving,
I came in late
it with us. Although a good number of
I just want to know if anyone died.
The last number of days have been related to a number of events and parties in the Kelowna area where people have moved from other parts of BC and other parts of Canada and then gone back to their home. We now have 253 active cases, of whom 16 people are in hospital, 4 of whom are in critical care ICU.
Take it with a grain of salt.
To report over the weekend.
Well, yeah. Right? No new deaths to report over the weekend. Ooh. Okay, I have to do this because she said, as of up to date, since this all started, 189 people have died specifically from COVID. 189 people out of 5.2 million people. Okay? And I've already shown how they were doing fake pre-recorded live streams 1 week in advance before they would re-upload it, people. Okay? With false death statistics and false infection rates. In other words, they were predicting how many people would die on the day that they did their pre-recorded live stream, and then they sat on it for a week before they re-streamed it to say what they had said a week ago in terms of, well, this many people died. They wouldn't have known that when they pre-recorded it a week ago. So, when she says 189 deaths have happened out of 5.2 million people that are directly related to COVID-19 since the beginning of when this all started, is a bunch of crock. Because a lot of those dates in terms of deaths hadn't even occurred as she was reporting them. Okay, so there are no fact check in her numbers outside of 189 people quite very well have been murdered, okay? To fill in those statistics that this person has been predicting, right? You know, go to work, do your 10 live streams, one after another, back to back to back, all in one day, right? At the set, at the movie set, right? Because it's all theatrics. This is what they like to do. Shimei was theatrical. Uncle John was theatrical, right? Amari was theatrical. It's all theatrics, right? Talking about, oh, well, you know, on April 11th, 2020, we had 5 COVID deaths because the live stream that we put up today with me standing there saying, I'm doing it today, says so. when in fact that live stream was done a week ago in the past, right? So whatever that would be, what would that be? April 6th? April 4th? 7 days, brings it to 11th. So on April 4th, she did the live stream after she did 10 other live streams all in that one day. So she wouldn't have to go back to work every day to the movie set. Do you understand? She did her live streams back to back to back to back to back. And then they just re-streamed it on the date that it was spewed out for, with false death statistics and false COVID infections. And I've documented that on several occasions. And whatever we just seen today, I mean, I told you, they're getting fast because they know, right? Somebody's paying attention. I'm a nobody, but they don't want it to leak out to the public, people. They don't want the public catching on. So they're going to screw around, right? But we have to still ask yourselves, out of those 189 people that supposedly died naturally from COVID-19 out of 5.2 million people, how many of them were murdered to fill that fucking quota as these people, so-called people, with their white togas on and their occulted fucking crystal ball that they say they can't use, but they've been using with their predictions and ghostwriters, right? Bringing in death, 189 false deaths to scare the public into complete submission so that they can eventually push their vaccines with the Eleanors and Lucys in this province so that they can get rich and harvest your children. If you're below a certain income level and you don't have the right kind of eyes